I'll be honest, I'm a little biased and I love all of Fred Bear's videos. But this hunt in the Yukon for Rocky Mountain goat and grizzly is definitely one of my favorites because it has so many unique things about it. The Yukon is a pretty incredible wilderness today, but back then when Fred went, it was even wilder. They go in with a guide, horses, the whole 9 yards, but Fred Bear shows some amazing things. One of those amazing, unique things is bow fishing for salmon.
His shot connects, and immediately he has his hands full as the salmon gyrates downstream, aided by the swift current.
Not only did he bring his bow hunting equipment, but Fred also brought his boat fishing equipment and shot a salmon on video. It is really difficult to not only shoot something with a traditional bow, but also get the shot and get a lot of the action on film. They literally had to get all kinds of shots. And I love that they went from the horses traveling in, and you could see the cameraman obviously rode ahead and got this incredible shot on a tripod, and then showed camp life and showed him sitting by the fire and Fred sharpening his broadheads, which he had designed. It was the Bear razor head, the 4-blade razor head. You get to see Fred practicing, you know, which is awesome. That's a part of almost every hunt. You take a few practice shots. Just so many great things about this film. Fred crossing the river.
With the aid of tag alder poles, they ford the river, hopping from stone to stone across the swift currents. Fred's rugged Kodiak bow of fiberglass laminated to hard maple does double duty as a waiting staff.
His guide is using 2 big sticks. I think they were alder branches or something that he cut. And Fred's using 1 stick, and he's using his Kodiak recurve to just jam in the gravel and cross. And then he throws his recurve. You can see him throw it up on shore. That's another great thing about hunting with a recurve. You would never do that with a compound, ever. And Fred's just throwing his equipment because he had faith in his equipment. A lot of Fred Bear's films, and you know, I know the difficulty of trying to get a shot on video. A lot of people do. It's super, super difficult. But back then, with the video equipment they had, for the cameraman to set up and get this beautiful shot, for example, of Fred and his guide walking in front of that valley, you know, the stalk. But then what's amazing is they actually got this shot on video on this Rocky Mountain goat, which is extremely hard to do. But you can imagine these were mostly wind up cameras, so they literally only had a few minutes of video. So they had 0 audio, and they had to literally set up and time the stalk, time the shot before they made a lot of noise rewinding this video equipment. So when I watch a lot of this stuff, I'm like, man, this is the cameraman did such an incredible job.
There he is. There he is, not only closer than expected, but unaware of the hunter's presence. However, he's moving away from their position. Quickly follows over the rise.
You see Fred come to full draw, you see him shoot this beautiful goat, and then the recovery is just awesome.
There lies the aristocratic dweller of the high places, his snowy coat gleaming in the afternoon sun. They examine him closely, running admiring hands over his glossy felt and through his luxuriant beard.
Then you see him enjoying some of those awesome fresh goat ribs over the fire.
The following day, the hunters are once more on the move, riding over the lichen-covered tundra, searching the rolling hills and willow-choked valleys, ever alert for a glimpse of whatever game they may find.
The fact that they got this grizzly bear, not only on film, but this is one of the rare ones too, that you actually see the arrow connect. On a lot of Fred's films, sometimes unfortunately it's really difficult for the cameraman to actually get the shot. But one of the things that I love about this, you know, this stalk on this grizzly is you can see Fred Bear and the grizzly in the same frame at one point. And you see the arrow, and you could tell they had to be excited because I've done this on my videos before when you could see the arrow, like, look, here's the arrow going right at the grizzly. And I think the cameraman was running out of film here because this grizzly is obviously fatally hit. you can see he's starting to go down right about here. The legs are getting wobbly, zigging back and forth, but I'm sure what happened is the camera literally just wound down. One of my early jobs was working at Bear Archery, and I got to clean Fred Bear's mounts. I've touched this grizzly bear. I've actually put mineral oil on its claws and on its nose. So these videos to me are just absolutely amazing, and a lot of the reason that I wanted to become a bow hunter.
It is to be hoped that through continued conservational measures, these magnificent animals will always find sanctuary in the Yukon wilderness.